Hello, everybody, and welcome to MBA Season 9. This is my team builder, and instead of doing my usual in being in the Moonlight division, which is our low tier division, I switched it up this time. MBA has taken a long break between seasons. We've had some off seasons and Harvest Moon. However, as we came back, we had a lot more interest in the league than we were expecting. We normally do 4 divisions, and we thought we'd try 5 divisions out. But we thought that would be a bit of a stretch, but then it ended up being we got so many applications that we ended up doing an extra 2 pools in 2 of our divisions, as we ended up with I think it was 130 something applicants, which is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure over double what we got for the previous season. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So one of the divisions that we brought back was Moongeist, our Ubers division, and this time we decided that we were going to do it with the new Legend ZA Megas using the Legend ZA mod. Now, there are a couple of problems with trying to do that, is that there's a possibility that the Mega's abilities change throughout the season. So we've just done like a rule that you can swap them out without using a transaction if the ability changes and you don't like the ability. Obviously, if you ended up getting a better ability than the one you drafted, you lucky son of a gun. But yeah. So, traditional was, let me show you the tier list. Let's pull it in frame. So, as you can see, we had a total of 150 points. 50 of those could go towards Ubers, and Ubers were between 30 and 20 points. We also did high tier Terra, which you had a total of 30 Terra points for a maximum of 2 Pokemon, and the highest Terra Tax Mons went up to 25. So it was 18 points and lower for like the regular Mons, but if they wanted to Terra, they could go up to 25 points. There was a couple exceptions, like I think Darkrai, Iron Bundle, things like that we didn't allow to Terra. But we got some very strong Terra captains. So as you can see, some of the strongest Mons: Eternatus, Mega Magearna, Marshadow, Mewtwo, Mega Y, Yveltal, stuff like that. So in my plans, there are a couple of Ubers that I was interested in, and then I ended up getting 14th pick out of 16. So I didn't think I was going to be able to get one of these higher picks, so during the preparing phase, I was looking at some of the mid-tier Ubers that I think would last to me and to get a good pairing. However, what's really interesting is that one of the Mons that I really wanted that was top tier, that I didn't think I'd get, fell to me. So we ended up with Marshadow. It was 30 points, very expensive, but Marshadow is, although its stats don't look that incredible, it kind of looks like something that you would see in normal net decks. With its typing, ability, technician, and a lot of the coverage that it gets, it becomes so powerful. Its signature move, Spectral Thief, steals an opponent's boosts, and then uses those boosts to attack the target. So if I've got someone opposed to me that's got a Mon that has Sword Stanced, all of a sudden I'm stealing that +2, and then I'm immediately hitting them with that +2 90 base power Spectral Thief, which is really cool. This also did get slightly buffed in Legends ZA, as we're also using the updated moveset from that, in that now it gets Mach Punch. So now I have both stab priority, which is really cool, both boosted by Technician, and just becomes really, really strong. Some sets I can see myself running with this are the simple Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Life Orb set, Focus Sash maybe, Resist Berry. Yeah, there's a lot of options, and I'm very excited to use Marshadow. I wanted to try a new Mega, and then if it was one of my Ubers, I thought that would be pretty cool. So I could only get a 20-point Uber left since I have a 30-point Marshadow. So I was looking at the ones available, and at the time what was available, there was Mega Excadrill, which has Sand Rush, there was Mega Starmie, which has huge power, and then there was Mega Heatran, who unfortunately, right before we did the draft, changed from Earth Eater to Filter, which kind of sucked. But as I was looking through it, I came to the realization that the problem I have normally when drafting is I leave drafting a steel type way too late. Like way too late, to the point where rather I get a really bad steel type or I just don't draft a steel type. And I wanted to change that this time. So we didn't pick Mega Starmie because of that, and then I was deciding, did I want to run Sand or did I not? I decided against running Sand, and we ended up with Mega Heatran, who was another 20-pointer. This mon is really good, and I'm really excited to use it. Stats-wise is incredible. We do still have that, obviously, weakness to round, but with Filter, it feels incredibly bulky. I'm really excited to use. It did get a couple interesting things, I'm pretty sure, in Z8. Like, it got First Impression, which is very odd, but, you know, could potentially come and be interesting. I don't know if anything else, like, majorly it got moveset-wise. Nothing's, like, jumping out at me that it didn't already have. Did it have Power Gem before? I feel like it did, but that might be new. I'm not sure. But this should be a really fun mon to try out. It gives me my first rocker. It gives me a Fairy Resist for the Marshadow. I can still use its two good abilities before Mega Ring. If I want to try and Flame Body something, or I wanted to have that immunity to fire. Both could be really good. Right, next up I decided that I was going to have a little look at my Terra Captains. There were a couple that were grabbing my attention of these like really high point Terra Captains, the ones at like the 25 points. There was two that I was kind of juggling between when it came to my turn, and then it ended up being one of them was drafted right before me, so it kind of decided what I wanted, which Terra Captain I was going for. I'm still really excited to use this Terra Captain in Terra Kyurem. So this was a 25 points up at Terra Kyurem. Gets access to Terra Blast since it was in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's got some great stats to work with, some good bulk, good offenses. Unfortunately, I don't think I can boost special attack, but I've got things like Roost, Roar, if I want to be some like defensive set, or I got DD. I can always run like Weakness Policy or like Boosting Item on this, and it'd be just a really good mon for breaking or sweeping for my team. It's got a lot of options when it comes to what Terra type it goes. There's certain high point Terra Captains which I felt were kind of pigeonholed into certain types, but I feel like with Kyurem I've got a pretty broad spectrum that I can go through, which is really cool. Right, next up I needed some more hazard control. As one, I didn't have any removal, and two, I only had Stealth Rock on Heatran at the moment, which, although it's a very good Stealth Rocker, I didn't want to be forced to put it in that role every single week. So I ended up picking up Ting-lu. It gave me a fantastic typing in Ground and Dark. This was 16 points, by the way, but it gave me both Spikes and Stealth Rock, and something that can just kind of always be there as a bulky mon to prevent myself from getting swept. It's got some decent offenses in 110 attack, so I can use it as an offensive mon. I can also just use it as like a rock setter, spike setter. I get taunt, EQ, memento might be an option 1 week if I wanted to try and set up with something. Yeah, I just felt like well, winter event like setup. I felt like it was a good glue piece for the team to help with my more offensive picks, as I usually when drafting kind of go in like the hyper offense role, and obviously in Ubers you kind of want to have a lot of bulk to try and live some stuff, otherwise you're just going to be getting swept constantly. Right, next up, I knew I needed some more speed for the team, as currently it was a bit lacking, going from... Mars Shadow was my fastest mon, but the problem with having Mars Shadow as like the fastest mon, I felt like it kind of forced it some weeks to be like scarfed in that, so I decided to pick up Tapu Koko. I never used Tapu Koko, and I do think it's a very good mon, but it was 19 points. It was very interesting as it didn't fit 100% on the team. Like, my team didn't need Electric Surge, and Electric Surge can actually be not the greatest for some of the mons on my team, such as like Ting-lu, if I wanted to be some sort of like rest set, or even like Heatran being the same, as it prevents sleeping. However, I feel like this really helped out to break water types for me, as it means I don't always have to bring like Freeze Vacuum, and then because water into like Ting-lu, Heatran is very good, and Mars Shadow doesn't break bulky waters that well, so this really helped with that role. And also giving me that elite 130 speed tier means I can run Scarf and outspeed all of the megas, and then other weeks I can just be defensive set, screens, set up stored power, something like that, which will be really helpful for the team. Speaking of bulky waters, that's what I decided that I was going to grab next for myself, and we ended up with Slowking. Slowking really helps me out, particularly my Kyurem, as I can like Chilly Reception out into the Kyurem before terroring and have that ice defense boost now due to snow. It gives me a regen mon, regen pivot with either Chilly Reception or Teleport, which helps just last a little bit longer, and also helps me deal with offensive waters, which I didn't deal too well with at the moment, like I was saying with bulky waters. So this will really help me out in those matchups where I'm against things like Keldeo, Palafin, what other 5-point water types were there? I'm not seeing a whole lot. Ushpu Rapid, it will help me out against. Kind of Wellspring, but not really. Kind of Greninja, but not really. Quackavola will help me out against. Primarina, it can kind of help me out against. And then Mega Starmie, it can help me out against. Things like that. Just using its natural bulk, if I fully invest it, to help me out in those certain matchups. I can also do some cheeky like counter stuff, which could be fun. Foul play for those really offensive mons. Slack off for its own recovery. I can T-Wave things, I can Toxic things. Do you not get Toxic? Never mind, I can only T-Wave thing. I thought it got Toxic. I guess it doesn't. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, should be an interesting like kind of glue piece, kind of like Ting-lu, as to try and help with each other's weaknesses, except a Bug. But I mean, I've got Mega Heatran for Bug. Right. My next one is my last Terra Captain. I had 5 points remaining, and I was realizing I was kind of lacking removal. When I drafted Kyurem, I kind of thought it had defog, but it doesn't. So currently my only removal is Tapu Koko, so I decided to pick up Terra Avalugg, which was 5 points. Now Avalugg is a very interesting mon to me personally, as people see it as not very good. However, with Terra, I think it's a pretty decent mon. It's a little awkward that both of my Terra Captains are ice types, because they don't particularly both want to come together, unless I'm going proper like snow, bulky ice, blah 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 spam. Yeah, I feel like this can definitely come to a game or two this season to be like a spinner, or even if I wanted it to be my offensive Terra Captain to try and whittle down my opponent. I don't think it'll be a sweeper, but it'll definitely be a breaker for the team, as it's got some good offenses, and then my defenses are, well, my physical defense is insane. Ignore my lacking Spadef set, but because my defense is so high, that means I can fully invest into Spadef, and then I can Terra out of this not so great defensive ice typing into something a bit better, sturdy, so that I can live hits, or take 2 hits from like boots, which I think would be really cool for the team. Next up, we have our last like high point mon until we get into like all the lower point guys. We got ogerpon-cornerstone. I was really liking that speed tier between Marshadow and Kyurem, the 125 down to 95, which I didn't think was the greatest, so I ended up getting that 110 at Cornerstone. And although I am item locked and cannot run like a scarf on it, I still think this is really good with its sturdy's ability. This is a great like designated lead mon to try and break into the team, into my opponent's team, or to be like taunt, encore, anything like that to try and disrupt my opponent would be really, really cool. Ivy Cudgel, pretty much being a 120 base attack move that doesn't miss, is really, really cool, especially because it's rock, which is, I think, a very good offensive typing, particularly in Ubers when you have multiple Ubers which are like flying or you just don't resist rock. Can do lots and lots of damage, which is pretty cool. Right. Let's go down to my lower picks. I was lacking a grounded poison, so I looked down and Muck was there at 4 points. I don't know whether I'll bring Muck this season. There's a particular matchup where I'm like, ooh, Toxic Spikes does kind of destroy me here. Muck can definitely come, or vice versa. If I think, ooh, Toxic Spikes looks really good into my opponent, I can come and bring the big blob. Someone told me I should have drafted Swallow as they were the same price, but Muck Supremacy. Muck is so much better. I can Sticky Hold to prevent my item from getting knocked. Poison Touch if I want to try and poison stuff. I doubt Stench will come into effect, but who knows. Maybe if I do some like Trick Room stuff, could be funny though I doubt it. But yeah, another thing where I can like Memento for like momentum. Shadow Sneak will do good damage. Certain, even like Ubers, which could be quite fun. Haze to prevent setup. Some random stuff like Pain Split could be pretty interesting. But yeah, and then we'll go into my final one. I normally do this where when I have some points left over at the end, I just kind of draft whatever has webs and low points. I very rarely ever bring them into my games, but I feel like this is a mon where I might actually be able to bring it, especially since it's a mon that's fully evolved, which I don't really normally draft with my sticky webbers. We have Big Leavanny. Leavanny is a very funny mon, particularly with Chlorophyll, is that in certain matchups, it can actually do really, really well. It's very funny when I look in the team builder, and then when I look at like the fastest mons, and Chlorophyll Leavanny is right at the very top, is very amusing to me, as, you know, Chlorophyll 92 speed is actually very good. 103 attack is definitely usable. I might have to run like boosting item, band, life orb, e-belt, or something like that. But it gets some decent coverage. Obviously you got the bug, the grass, but it also gets like knockoff, which is cool. You get some fighting, poison, ghosts, even ice, which is very, very cool. You can also do like switcheroo sets, SD sets, find like focus sash, and my opponent has no priority. You get some flying, which is cool. Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty decent mon that I'll probably be able to bring at least once or twice this season, even if it's not just a sticky web mon. But it also threatens my opponent's team with the webs, which is pretty cool. It provides just a bit of prep on their part. So yeah, that is your team for the Neo-Spacian Palafins. I'm quite happy with the team currently. I know I do have some certain weaknesses, however, I can try and patch them up with Terra, with like Terra Curum or Terra Avalugg. We may see some transactions throughout the season. You have 5 transactions to do, but yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that if they go back to Earth Eater Heatran, though I very much doubt it since it was a bit broken. But that would be really fun for your hero. Yeah, I don't think there's too much else. I do have a bit of a ground weakness because, you know, my ground resist is like Leave Annie, since Ogerpon doesn't resist ground. But it is what it is. Yeah, that is going to be it for me.